Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on a fabulous Wednesday. For those of you who haven't seen, I know Chris Whitaker is your regular host for this event. Unfortunately, he is stuck in an airport and asked me to pinch hit for him, which I'm more than happy to do. So we have a great presentation here for you today where we're going to talk about one of our vertical segments. And one of those is the auto dealership. So obviously it's a tremendous opportunity in that segment. Lots of business there, lots that our technologies can work for. And we've got some great providers here lined up today to talk to you a little bit about how they are having some success in that space. So before we get to our providers, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to a gentleman who knows this industry very, very well. He's going to give us a state of the industry, tell us a little bit about what's going on. So we're going to start off with him, and then we're going to go to Fortify, Epic.io, and then finish up with Ready Wireless. Each one of our providers is going to have about 10 minutes, and then we're going to allow them each a few minutes for questions. But we're hoping to get you guys in and out here, get you some good content on a Wednesday afternoon. Okay. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker here, Sean, with Cox Automotive. And as I mentioned, he's got a long industry pedigree here and it's got some good information for us. So Sean, can you hear me? You ready to take over?
I am. I don't know if you need to pass the baton to me for me to share my screen.
Go ahead and see if you can share your screen. I'm going to stop mine.
Okay.
And then you should be able to jump in and take over there.
Anybody who's serving dealership clients, I guess maybe I'll pause real quick by way of introduction. I'm Sean Tigert. I'm the general manager at Cox Automotive. We have a product called Lot Vision, which serves the automotive industry with an IoT solution that allows dealers to track their vehicle inventory across multiple locations and also be able to geofence their lots and their service bays to be able to track the movement of their vehicles through sales and service, as well as their loaner fleets, and save an inordinate amount of time on trying to locate vehicles, especially when a lot of dealers have multiple rooftops or locations. So as we dive and prior to this current role, I worked at Cox Automotive for 5 years, both under our Mannheim Auto Auction environment, as well as the leader for client experience and new product innovation across the 70 plus products that make up the Cox Automotive suite of services. So what we're looking at today is the auto market snapshot that Cox Automotive pulls together through their data and insights team, their analytics team. And I'm going to draw your attention to a couple of key metrics. So we'll start by scrolling down a little bit there, Scott, to keep going a little bit further. I'm going to highlight the full year forecast for 2023 for new car sales is expected to hit around 15 million cars sold this year. And just by point of reference, that is up from about 14.3 million in 2022. So it's been a very slow crawl back from pre-pandemic levels in 2019. And there are definitely some headwinds that we'll talk about here in a second. Used car volume, you can see that here for May, but for the entire year, it is forecasted that used cars, there'll be about 35.7 million used car sales, which is up from 35.2. So relatively flat on the used car side. And what's really been stymieing the return to pre-pandemic level sales, no surprise, are the higher interest rates that we even saw, I believe, a quarter point. We're expecting a quarter point increase today from the Fed, which has really slowed things down. And what that's done, quite honestly, is it's caused the average monthly cost of a new vehicle to exceed $750 a month. That's pretty significant, right? And as you'll see on some of the other stats on this page, That equates to about 43 weeks of median income from a household to be able to purchase a new vehicle. Obviously, that's a significant portion of any household's revenue or income, and so it that definitely has an impact on their ability to sell new vehicles. Loans for these new vehicles are averaging at current right now about 9% for a new vehicle and 13.5% for a used vehicle. And while credit availability is still very tight, it's loosened up a little bit. It really got bad during the bank failures earlier this year, and so it's good to see that there's starting to some of that's starting to open up, and the credit availability is making its way back into the consumer kind of their ability to tap into some of that credit. And that's also as sales have declined, year-over-year supply is starting to increase. So the impact of those higher interest rates is in fact having the intended effect, in that the demand is decreasing, the supply is increasing, and of course that drives down vehicle prices or the cost to purchase some of these things. So we are definitely seeing some movement in the cost or the price of vehicles over time is starting to come down a bit. But of course, that decline in price is often being eaten up by the higher interest rates for the loan. So it's still having the dampening effect. That said, inventory for new vehicles is at 53 days, meaning they have 53 days of inventory on hand before they run out for new cars, and 47 days of inventory for used vehicles. And so what does that mean for the dealership? The dealership really has two sources of revenue when you think about it. They can sell a car or they can service a car. And so as you would expect, with people purchasing fewer cars, what they're doing is they're holding on to the car that they have, and they're trying to squeeze a few more miles out of those vehicles through service and repair. And so dealerships are seeing an uptick. They are now at an average of 90 repairs per month, which is probably an all-time high. And average revenue per repair is at about $130, which is higher. Which is again, you see a trend line that extends over the course of the past few years. It's down slightly month over month, but it's still right there knocking on the door of kind of an all-time high from a revenue perspective. So, the dealerships are definitely trying to weather the storm. They're looking for, if you're a partner and you're looking to sell solutions into dealerships, the slower growth of sales is forcing them to look for operational efficiencies to kind of get past this the storm that is interest rates for them. So anything that can help them reclaim time lost in non-value added activities is something that they're going to be extremely interested in. Obviously, touching a vehicle, moving vehicles around, anything that reduces the level of effort for the back office and processing paperwork is going to be of interest to them. At the same time, because they're seeing more focus on service, solutions that drive technician efficiency will also be well received. One thing about the technician efficiency is the availability of tech labor is an ongoing issue. The new technicians, or I should say older technicians, are beginning to retire out of their roles, and there aren't enough new technicians to take their place. And what that's doing, especially as the demand for repair and services increases, is it's driving up the cost for that technician labor. And so we're now seeing hourly service rates between $180 to $250 an hour, which is fairly substantial. So dealerships are definitely feeling the squeeze on the compression to their margins relative to service. And so definitely anything that can help with service technician efficiency is something that they're going to absolutely be interested in. So I covered a lot. You'll see a lot of detail here on this page. I'll also drop into the chat for everybody here another resource for you that will take you to a lot of insights that Cox Automotive puts out and makes free to anyone that comes to their website in terms of their learning center. A lot of great resources there to help inform you what's going on in the industry, what are some of the headwinds, and where are dealers looking to make improvements to their business to help drive further profitability and efficiency across their operations. So I will pause there and see if you have any questions for me.
All right, thank you, Sean. Any questions from folks there in the crowd? Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to our next provider. Then we'll have a little bit of time for questions at the end if something comes up or if anybody has anything they want to put it in the chat. I think Sean's going to hang around for a couple minutes. So, Sean, if you want to just keep an eyeball on the chat there, and if something pops up, if you could just answer quickly, folks, feel free to put some comments in there. I'm going to turn things over to our next presenter here. Actually, here we got one question: is car theft on lots a significant issue?
Great question. There is definitely an increase in lot theft, both at wholesale and at retail. So auction locations that buyers source from or dealership source from have seen thefts, and dealers themselves have seen thefts. That's a great question.
And then another question here: are there any predictions regarding how long this storm is forecast to persist?
Yeah, so the prediction, at least from Jonathan Smoke, who's the chief economist at Cox Automotive, is that the Fed is indicating a couple additional rate hikes through the end of this year. And just depending on whether or not they see the inflationary measures subside, what we're hoping, what we're expecting is that interest rates will basically remain flat through the end of the year, maybe a slight uptick, not significant. And then as we head into 2024, hopefully we see an easing of those inflationary pressures, and the Fed will ease back on interest rates, which will make that a little more accessible to the median house and their income.
All right, perfect. Well, folks, if anybody has any other questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat there. We'll do our best to answer them as we go. But I'm actually going to say thank you to Sean. Thanks a lot for that insight. I think that was valuable. That website there, folks, Sean, they can check that out at any time, right? That link's available, or is that a limited time link?
Oh, those are both available 24/7, anytime. So
okay,
definitely check both of those resources out.
Yeah, some good content there. So thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate the insight. So right now, folks, I'd like to introduce Fortify to the mix here. We're going to start off with Rick, who I'm sure some of you have known and had the opportunity to work with, and Josh are going to join us from Fortify. So gentlemen, take it away.
Hey, Graham, thanks a lot, man. Hey, guys, so first I just want to say thank you to all the partners and individuals that have taken time out of their day to join our call today. It's really important to us as a supplier that we get the opportunity to help educate on our products and services. A little bit about Fortify. Most people know that our company was started by two agents in this industry looking for a specific solution for their customers, right? Fortify is a wireless aggregator. We kind of manage the relationship at the carrier level for the customer so that they don't have to go to Verizon or T-Mobile or AT&T looking for services, and then all of a sudden they find out they don't have the right carrier. We have the ability to provide the customer with multiple carriers so that they can make sure they have the right carrier at every location. Josh has up our core group of individuals. Andrew Gregoire is our founder and and managed partner. John Reed is our managing partner. I'm on there as VP of Partner Sales. We do have a new West Coast channel manager. Her name is Kim Apo. And then most of you know Josh Dickinson. He's our Chief Revenue Officer and running our FISAS division. And so thanks, Josh, for switching that over. So Fortify has two business plans, right? We have a primary business plan, which is typically for high capacity data plans where customers are looking for a primary internet connection while they're waiting for a broadband or a fiber connection, right? And we do this all in a month-to-month environment. We have 200, 300 gigabit data plans. We have Verizon Unlimited on 5G. And then we also do a backup solution. And this is very popular in the automotive sector because a lot of these dealerships need to have a secondary internet connection. And most of them are looking for an internet connection that comes from a diverse path instead of having broadband or fiber coming through the same conduit, right? We have 1 gigabit, 2 gigabit, 5 gigabit, and 10 gigabit data plans, all pooled across multiple carriers. So if a dealership has multiple locations, Verizon might not be the right fit at one site. We can pool their backup solution over Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. So you see a little bit about our equipment there. We have the popular Cradlepoint L950, which is running our 4G primary and backup networks. We have the W1850, which runs our 5G networks. One thing real quick to touch on when it comes to our data plans, right? Since we manage that relationship at the carrier level, we've negotiated data plans both on 4G and 5G that are priced exactly the same. So if a customer is looking for 5G, the only cost differential would be the cost of the equipment. And so, Josh, can we flip to the next page? So this is a great page because we do see a lot of people requesting 5G. I will just share with you 5G is not always available to customers, but it is becoming more and more available widespread. What we're really seeing right now is we're selling on the low band 5G, the 600 to 900 megahertz, getting some pretty awesome speeds. Josh, can you flip to the next one, please? So here's a device that is a W1850. This device is an inside device that has an antenna running to it. As you can see on here, we've got a 428 megabit download speed with a 68 megabit upload speed, 75 millisecond latency, zero jitter. So this is some of the 5G speeds we're starting to see, and they're only going to continue to get better. Josh, can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, here's another one. This is an indoor W1850. Again, really good speeds we're seeing off this. And so just in short, because I know we have limited time, reach out to us. Let us know if you need any quotes or want to talk to us about 4G or 5G primary or backup internet connections. And with no further ado, I'm going to hand this off to Josh Dickinson and let him explain a little bit about our FISAS product.
Thank you, Rick. Hey guys, most of y'all probably know me. My name is Josh Dickinson, new CRO over at FISAS. We are a division of Fortify. And like Sean said, car thefts, car vandalism, stuff like that happen all the time. You need security to be able to protect it, to protect your people. And that's really where we've come in. We've taken the entire Verkada suite of products, the cameras, the access control, the hospitality suite, and we've created an OpEx or a managed product as a service product for the channel. So that way you can help your customers protect their assets, their people, their property even more. Again, it goes back to the cameras that have full, lots of different kinds of cameras. Everything from dome and fisheye, what you hear about all the time. They tie into the same pane of glass as the access control. So that way you have your doors and your cameras all on the same pane of glass. You can view from pretty much anywhere, whether you have a web app or your browser. The cool thing about the Verkada product is that it's all technology based, right? So it's there to protect, like I always keep going back to saying, protecting your people and your products. But it's really what they're there for, designed by technology specialists. There's AI built in, there's people recognition built in. One of the cool features that I always mention to people is that the people recognition portion of it, if you have a vandal that comes on a car lot over and over again, you know who they are, you can upload their photo, and next time they come on your lot, you'll actually get a text or SMS saying that they were there notifying you, so you can go take action or call appropriate people. So with our camera system, there is no DVR, no NVR. It's all stored locally. So very little internet's needed. PoE switch is all that drives the power. There's also alarms, there's air quality sensors, a lot of different things that we're offering through FISAS, again, to protect your people, protect your assets. So please reach out to us if you have any questions.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Josh. Can you tell us a little bit about the kinds of opportunities you guys are seeing right now? Like what types of situations are partners looking to bring you guys in on?
For the security side of it, there's no niche or vertical. I mean, we're selling 2 cameras to a gas station. We're also selling multi-site opportunities that have 2 cameras and the doors all tied in together, as well as huge warehouses that have 60 cameras and doors, everything also. So it's a little bit of anything and everything. Right now, it's just trying to get the word out there that we are offering this product as a service. One of the cool features about this also is that the customer owns equipment after 36 months. We're constantly pinging and monitoring the cameras. So if they go down, we're actually notifying them, troubleshooting them, and overnight replacement, rolling a truck if we have to limit that liability. But sorry, we'll go back to your question. Anybody and everybody's trying to protect something one way or another.
Awesome. And what's the engagement process like? Can you just tell us a little bit about how that works? Is there a deal registration required or anything like that?
No deal registration required. Reach out to Rick or your Teleris channel manager, and they can put you in contact with me. We do demos all day long. We send quotes out all day. I'm happy to engage the customer as much or little as you want me to. We'll do site surveys and roll trucks for free. Just understand the customer requirements, and then we build out the full solution.
Awesome. All right, folks. Well, any questions here for Josh or Rick from Fortify? Go ahead and drop them in the chat, or if you want to speak, go ahead and unmute yourself and talk.
Appreciate y'all's time.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Graham. Thank you.
You got it, guys. Thank you. All right, folks. I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to our next presenter now, which is Skylar from Epic.io. And while he's getting things fired up, these guys are, bringing some pretty new technology to the space, and we're really excited to hear from them and see what they've got. So, Skylar, it looks like you're ready to go. So, take it away.
Ready to go. Yeah. Thanks, Graham. And thanks everybody for your time. I ditto Fortify's comments. Appreciate you taking some time out of your busy day. So a little bit real quick about Epic.io, and then we'll dive into some specific use cases, show you some real life use cases from our customers. But Epic.io is really focused on 3 pillars, right? So artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and connectivity. And so we do this, and really we went to market as a end-to-end solution. So you as a partner and your customers don't have to, what we call kind of the Lego block model, have to piece together all of the different components with IoT sensors, with artificial intelligence, with cameras, the software dashboard to ingest and enrich that data to give you real-time insights and historical analytics. So we go about this, we really went to market with that end-to-end solution. So again, so you don't have to piece that together. And so this is kind of a snapshot. We got this from going left to right. We think of it as that could be a camera, that could be a IoT sensor doing environmental monitoring. And that's really our secret sauce, is because we collect that data from multiple endpoints, such as sensors, such as cameras, ingesting the streams, and apply the rules engines towards that. And we do that by a kind of an edge to cloud deployment. And talking about connectivity, we acquired a company called BroadSky several years ago. If you're familiar with them, they've been doing wireless from the satellite days 19 plus years ago to now today, private 5G or private LTE or private cellular networks, whichever acronym you're going by. We've deployed a lot of those within car dealerships as well. And then basically, fast forwarding over to our dashboard, again, kind of the heart of what we do is what we call deep insights. Again, we collect that data from multiple points, ingest that data, enrich it, and present that, which I'll show you a couple examples of, with real-time notifications, historical analytics, et cetera. So going into auto dealerships, we'll first start with really site security, right? And so I'm showing this video. This is a customer of ours that had an incident. And as you can see, this is more beyond just your traditional surveillance camera, right? So this is actually identifying dynamically after hours when a person should not be there. And we're deciphering between what is a vehicle and what is a person after hours where someone shouldn't be. So we'll basically geofence this area. And again, we can use existing cameras that the dealership already has. And as you can see here, we're basically doing a scene edit to say, okay, this is the snapshot in the area where there could be trouble. We want to know if there's a person in a parking lot, like you're seeing here, is a car moving? And we're going to set the zones to say after 7 p.m. at night and until 6 o'clock in the morning, we're going to make sure that we don't detect any of those anomalies. And again, that's beyond just your traditional site security. We're detecting certain objects like you're seeing here with a car moving. That's anomaly number one. People coming in after hours, anomaly number two. And then we set off real-time alerts via text message, email, automated phone call. We also have talk-down speakers as well that can automatically play to say, hey, police are on their way, please leave. You can even connect to that network speaker as well via cellular and connect via your cell phone if that criminal is persistent and say, hey, you in the red hoodie sweatshirt, please leave. Police are on the way. I'm watching you right now. So more of a proactive site security standpoint for dealerships. And then something else unique. These are the guys kind of speeding away, which we ended up catching, and I think which is in this video, if this is the right one. Police that were actually called on this situation, and they were caught a couple streetlights down. But going to the next tier, so something unique that we provide is really a kind of an inventory. I think Sean mentioned that at the very beginning of really capturing how many vehicles are within your lot. So again, this is giving insights into multiple dealerships. So if you have multiple locations, you can see what your parking is for customers if there's designated areas, what the wait times are if you're pulling in for service, right? So we can do dwell times with cars waiting in line to get into service, as well as an inventory standpoint. So you have a real-time view with artificial intelligence to say how many vehicles you have in inventory. And then going beyond that, again, this is our Deep Insights platform to where we can say how many people have came into the store. Again, we're identifying a vehicle, a person, it could be a bicycle, different things like that, but we're collecting that metadata and presenting that to the end user with what are the occupancy of inside the building, how many people are on the lot looking at vehicles at any given time. So you can see here we have 0 people on the lot, but we have 7 vehicles in this certain geofenced area. And this could be real-time occupancy, wait times and dwell times for service, different things like that. And we can even get down to the granular level of, the general manager's parking spot versus a handicap space, right? And we can geofence that off. A couple more things real quick. Again, kind of expanding on this. So we use obviously license plate recognition and vehicle identification for law enforcement, smart cities and such, but we're actually using this for car dealerships as well. Again, back to the inventory standpoint to say if you have 17 blue Mazdas at a Mazda dealership, we use vehicle identification to say in this area, in this inventory lot, we have this either license plate or make, model, color of the vehicle in this area. And then you have analytics towards that to say how many blue Mazdas that you have there integrating into the dealership's inventory system, along with site security in one single pane of glass. So you can see here, you can pull up all of your different camera feeds. This could be a Bosch camera, it could be, again, we're manufacturer agnostic. Our artificial intelligence and our proprietary stack is built within our Deep Insights platform. And then you have visibility into if there's a person detected. This is just normal activity, but if you want that to be alerted on, say after hours, like the original video that I showed at the beginning, that will send immediate alerts. And again, all of the analytics behind it. And then from a kind of customer experience and insights, lastly, is where are your customers going within the dealership, right? Are they staying in the lot? Are they going into the, brand new shiny Corvette and standing around that? So we actually provide heat maps for dealerships to say where are customers gravitating towards, how many people are in that designated area, and then get a heat map. So if you want to move around your storefront to say, all right, let's park this Corvette over here to really get some attention. If you want to start moving that certain model of car, there's a marketing aspect, there's insights into the business across your multiple dealerships to say where people are gravitating towards and where that heat map is within your dealership, so you know where people are going. So I think I did that pretty quick, so I'll give some extra time back, but I'll hand it back to you, Graham.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Skylar. That was some good insight, and really enjoyed seeing actually the video there. Some pretty cool stuff. And, I think to Sean's point earlier, dealerships are looking for stuff that can make them more efficient. And I think this is a good example of that. Any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat or raise your hands and ask. Right now, I'm actually going to have Ready Wireless start firing up, sharing their screen while people are asking some questions. So feel free to drop something in the chat there if you've got a question for Skylar. And of course, he will be at the both Skylar and Josh actually will be at our partner summit. If anybody on the in the crowd here is attending that, it's a good opportunity to connect with those guys and see a little bit more. And that's coming up, of course, next week in Dallas. So, all right, looks like we're ready. I think we've got Dennis and Dana that will be presenting here from Ready Wireless. So if you guys are ready, go ahead.
Yeah, sounds good. Hey, Graham, this is Fred. I'm just going to kick it off real quick. Thanks again, everyone, for making time and including us. I'm Fred Homister, Chief Revenue Officer at Ready, and I guess the lead champion for the partnership that we've enjoyed with Telarus over the last year and a half or so. As many of you know, Ready has cast a pretty wide net in terms of solutions that we support around IoT sensor management. And I was especially excited when I got the ask from Chris Whitaker last week if we had anything that was purpose-built for dealerships. The timing really couldn't be better, as we spent the last several months aligning our capabilities to solve common problems and show immediate return on investment for dealerships of any size. So as you mentioned today, I've invited Dennis Henderson, who's our CEO, and Dana Pinter-Karasek, VP of Product Development, to assume my usual presenter's role and introduce y'all to our recently launched Car Chief solution. So without further ado, Dennis, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Fred. Can everybody hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, you're good.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, everyone, thank you. Really excited to be here. Freddie, thanks for the intro. The Car Chief really is a product that was designed by Ready Wireless, a technology company with deep insights. Sorry, not to plagiarize from the previous presentation, from folks in the car business. We have partners who are actually have been in the auto business for some time. I will modify slightly one thing Freddie said. We've been working on this product for about 2.5 years, and over the last few months, we have the product out and in the market being very well received. There's a lot of research and integration back-end work that went into this. So here's your hook when you're talking to your potential customers. This product, this solution actually will make money on every single car that the dealership sells. It'll make it in 2 places at least: when they sell the vehicle and back in the service bay. And we really did not have an arrangement with Sean, but from Cox. But I'll tell you that what Sean's message regarding car sales being flat or down and service revenue becoming more important could not have set this presentation up better. We really are seeing this product is designed to do to address increasing revenues in the service revenue area in the service bay for dealerships. Um, Here's the solution: we provide for the dealer. The dealer purchases from Ready a small device that they install in the vehicle. That device is integrated into automatically integrated. Very simple installation. Anyone on this call could do it. The device reads the information from every vehicle's computer, and it then reports information about that vehicle, including primarily diagnostic and service related. So kind of a common thing that we like to say is, when you're driving down the road, a red light comes on your car, the engine light, and it's just red. It just doesn't tell you anything. What Car Chief does is it interprets that engine code. It looks it up in our library of engine codes that are cross-referenced to make, model, and year, and it reports back to both the customer and the dealership what is the nature of the issue. So if I'm on vacation with my family, I get the engine light, my dealer can notify me, hey, your engine light just came on. Don't worry about it. It actually just means you need to get your air filter cleaned. We'll do that when you get back. Alternatively, it could be my dealer telling me, listen, your engine light's on. It's an oil pressure or heat issue. We highly recommend that you either pull off the road now and get it addressed, or at your next exit, and get some roadside assistance to be able to resolve it, or anywhere in between. Now, the underlying technology comes from our same technology that we use for our fleet management platform. What does that mean? That means that it also includes in the payload location. And that means that this automatically, while generating sales revenue and service, and also helping to differentiate the vehicles on the lot from the same vehicle that might be down the road that doesn't have Car Chief, that might be at a dealership down the road. This also provides, just with it, lot management, which is, where are my vehicles in inventory? And importantly, do I have any issues, like I've got a low battery or low gas? If on this screen you can see the green arrows, we literally tell our dealers, hey, the battery in this car is dead, saving them the embarrassment from trying to start it in front of a customer for a test drive, and also then increasing the likelihood that that vehicle will sell. So I'm going to kind of gloss over this slide because I just described it, but at a high level, the customer receives a notification of an alert or of the need for service, and the dealer receives that same alert. One of the important things for you all to know is that national surveys say that 3 out of 4 customers, 75%, say that they don't trust the recommendation they get in the service bay. They think that that service advisor is trying to sell them something that's good for the dealer, but not necessarily good for the customer or needed. What Car Chief does is address that. Car Chief tells the customer, hey, your owner's manual says you need these 3 things done when you come in for your service. So when they come in, the customer's pre-sold, and they don't have to worry about whether this is what the dealership is trying to sell them. Also, importantly, in most cases, a customer drives off the lot with some sort of warranty. The warranty or that service agreement has conditions. Car Chief documents that the customer has met those conditions. That's the assurance that the customer has. The flip side of that is the dealership also has the assurance that they have insight. The customer may say, I only drove with with that engine light on for 5 miles. The dealer is going to know they drove with the engine light on for 500 miles, because the device also captures the odometer reading. So Sean hit the nail on the head. Dealers make money in different ways. Some of them make money. They make money on vehicle sales for sure. That's the column on the left. They also make money in the service bay, the column in the middle. And when you buy a vehicle, they then sell you an extended warranty plan or rust proofing or something like that. That's the F&I, or finance and insurance office. The F&I function in many dealers accounts for a third of the revenue of the profit of a dealership. And so Car Chief is built to be able to sold in any of those three areas. It's primarily sold in vehicle sales. The dealer will put the device in, they'll use the service for lot management to tell where are my vehicles. This is especially powerful for a dealer with multiple lots where their inventory moves around. And then also it provides the ability then for them to have that customer go into the F&I office, and the F&I salesperson can say, by the way, we've outfitted your vehicle with Car Chief, which gives you these benefits for 1 year. And then you can extend that. And there's some simple pricing for the dealerships so they can sell add-ons that make that a 3 year or a 5 year service for the customer. And Utiliris reps earn commission on the service strip, which is that line that says commissionable. So when you talk to a dealership and they buy Car Chief, if a dealer sells 100 vehicles, you're going to have $99 of commissionable revenue. That's, if you can see my cursor, that's this box. You're going to have that one timer. So it's 99 for the whole year, but you're going to have that on every vehicle that sells every month in that dealership. You're going to have that commission. And in this column, the service ads, when they go into the F&I office, if they sell a 36-month extension, that costs the customer $249. And that is also commissionable revenue for Utiliris reps. So we built this around being effective in the channel. So what are the big numbers? Well, here's what it's going to do in service. This is just one case study, but these are the numbers they'll see. The penetration rate, meaning it went to sell add-ons in the F&I office, is about 1/3 of customers in an average dealership. Good dealers will sell over 50% add-ons. That means you're going to enjoy commissions on a third to half of the sales, in addition to the base commission on the first year of service. And back in the service bay, your hours of service, which is again very important for the dealership now that car sales are flat, are going to increase 200, 300%. And that number on the right, ELR, is called effective labor rate. When you come in for an oil change, that is a very low revenue, low profit item for the dealer. It's a loss leader because you're coming in already pre-sold on all the things that need to happen for your regular maintenance. You're going to be spending more, and the service is going to be a broader service. That translates to effective labor rate. And the case data that we have suggests that that's going to double, which means that that same service technician that's harder to find, and who that fleet of service technicians that's retiring, is going to make you twice as much money. So what does all this mean? So this is a lot of information. We don't expect you to know this, okay? The process that we would suggest is you need to talk to the person whose name is on the wall, because that person is going to enjoy the profits and the benefit directly from all three of those departments. In most dealerships, the sales manager is compensated differently from the service manager, who's compensated differently from the F&I manager. The owner of that dealership will have that broad view, who will say, this is good for the entire dealership. Why does that matter? Because this product gives you the ability to say, I need to talk to the owner of this business. I'm going to show the owner how to increase profit on sales. I'm going to show them how to increase retention of customers in service. And I'm going to show them how to increase revenue in the F&I office. So what we'd like for you to do is, what we'd suggest is use that hook to be able to get meetings with the owner. We can help you with any positioning. We have a complete library of information that we have made available for training, etc. And we will help you sell it. Just turn it over to us. We'll get involved. We'll be as involved as you'd like for us to be. We know it's your customer, but we will sell it. Last thing I want to say is our product is not competitive or a substitute for any of the other vendors who've been on this call. This ecosystem is very robust, and I think that Telarus has done a wonderful job of bringing in complementary vendors. You could talk about all three of our products. I will tell you that we are very excited about the fact that this gets you talking to the owner of the dealership about making money, not spending money. And Freddie, I'll turn it over to you for concluding remarks, or back over to Graham if Freddie has none.
Yeah, I think we can just kick it back over to Graham. Should note that I too will be in Dallas next week and hope to see some of you there.
Yeah, awesome, gentlemen. Thank you so much, and to all of our presenters, thank you. This last presentation, I don't know about you guys, the wheels are turning for me. I'm thinking, wow, okay, there's a lot of opportunity there, and going through all the partners I know that work in the auto industry. So good stuff, and yeah, totally agree with you there about some complementary products here. You could walk into a dealership and talk about all three of our presenters today. So, guys, really appreciate everybody joining us today. Hope you got some value out of it. We'll kind of leave things open for a couple minutes here for any questions. Go ahead and drop them in the chat if you've got them, or we don't have any other presenters, so you can just actually unmute yourself and ask. But for those of you wondering, we will be sending out this information on all these products after the fact. Chris will be sending that. And I'm actually going to share my screen here quickly to show one last piece of information that Chris wanted me to share, which is a link to his podcast. So those of you guys who have not seen the Chris Whitaker Wireless Wit podcast, it's something that he's done for Telarus here for a few years, and is a lot of good, valuable insights that have brought out of that. So you can go ahead, and there's a nice little QR code there for you to scan. That'll help you get to his YouTube channel. You can get his contact information, and a nice one-pager for all of the Telarus wireless and IoT suppliers. So go ahead and scan that. I'm going to leave that up on the screen for you for a couple minutes. But that concludes our content for today. Once again, thanks a lot for coming. If there's any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Otherwise, we will see some of you guys in Dallas. I've got one question here that says, what competitors does Car Guru, Ready Wireless, this one's for you. What other competitors do you have in that space?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are siloed substitute products. For example, LoJack has a lot management / theft recovery product. There's literally nothing on the market that ties all three pillars of profit together. And there's nothing on the market that provides insights to the service bay regarding the customer's engine issues real time and the customer at the same time. So it's quite unique in the sense that it addresses the trust issue that customers have and drives revenue back into the dealerships. While the customers are out driving, keep in mind, they're hearing ads on the radio from Meineke and Tuffy and Jiffy Lube. Bring your car here for your oil change. The dealer needs that revenue, and this gives that to them.
Yeah, thank you for that response. Any other questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Okay. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Again, these slides will be coming out. Make sure you go ahead and, yeah, I agree with you, Chuck, there. The wheels are turning hard, man. That was some good content there for sure. But folks, go ahead and scan that QR code, get the information from Chris. Keep an eye on your emails for the slide decks. And with that, I'll go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Graham.
Thanks, everyone.